Okay, today's day two in this goal achievement series that we started last night. And if you didn't see that, you can scroll back on the Facebook page and find that video. I shared a little bit more of my background and story, and then the beginning of this process of how to create fuel and strategy to create another level result in your business or your life, and really creating a life you love going forward from here. So today, let's take this to the next step. And each day, I'm going to give you some bite-sized nuggets and strategies to really allow you to move forward more powerfully and more effectively. And I look forward to hearing your results and your experiences in the comments below. So here we go. All right, so yesterday we talked about the what, having some targets, the what that you want to achieve or create, and then the when, the time frames. And today we're going to go a bit further beyond what and when. You saw the overarching why and contacts that you want to create, and the desire to fuel the emotional connection, to fuel your dreams, to fuel your goals, and then connecting your targets with your daily strategy and developing that muscle. So today let's have another way of looking at that. As we go beyond what and when, again, we want to add some fuel to the what and the when, okay? And many of you, let me talk to those of you maybe for a moment that are in business or an entrepreneur, or maybe have your own home business like we do. A lot of your fuel, well, actually this is going to apply to anybody, okay? Maybe your goal is a relationship, maybe your goal is some kind of impact in the world, writing a book, it's your business, and growing your business, growing your partners, growing your customers. First we want to add some fuel, and the first thing is the why. Yesterday we showed a picture of the overarching why. Today again, I want to come back to that, the why. Why are you doing what you're doing? Why is it important for you to get from where you are to where you want to be? Why is it important for you to grow and to change and to develop some new habits and surround yourself with some new mentors, some new ideas, and maybe expose yourself to some new environments? Why? That's going to be a key. And even sharing your why with others, especially any of those of you that are in a business of enrolling others. That doesn't just mean network marketing, because I love hearing someone, I was actually Lisa Nicole sharing the other day about enrolling. I know she did network marketing in the past, and yet she has a vision and a mission she's on now with the release of her book, Abundance Now. And when she talked about enrolling, I realized enrolling is also enrolling people in your idea, in your vision, whatever that is, whether in ministry, in church, enrolling your kids in your vision for your family or in a project, or whether it is in business and something you want to accomplish. It's enrolling people in the idea, and it's going to be driven by your why and why that's important. Next, we want to add some who. Okay, we have the why. I'm going to suggest we add some who, the people and the stories. If you're writing a book, who is that person on the other end who's going to be reading that book? I mean, my sister, who's a high school English teacher, recently wrote her first novel and got it published for young adults. A wonderful book. Adults and young adults both like it. But she was thinking in some sense of the who. Who is she writing for? Who? And it's really neat now to hear some of the stories now that it's written, and some young people have been reading it, and the feedback that she's gotten of how it's touched some young girls in reading that story. It was really cool. And by the way, that book is The Seller by Catherine Lowe, L-O, my sister. I think there's another book called The Seller by someone else, but that's the one by Catherine Lowe. But the key was there's some people that were on the other end of receiving what she wrote. Maybe it's the clients or the customers that you're wanting to attract and serve this year. Maybe it's the mission, the impact, or the people whose lives are going to be touched because of the extra income that you're able to donate or give or fund some kind of project because of how your business grows this year. And maybe it is the prospects, the partners that you're going to attract and enroll in your business, and how their lives are going to change. And both, when I say stories, it might be the story of what's going on the other end of that phone call, when they get your phone call, or when they see your post on Facebook, or when they receive that what you wrote, or that message, or hear something that you shared. It's what's going on in their life when they hear it. I know one person who's become a wonderful partner to my wife and I in our business, a wonderful couple. She was in her real estate office the night before I actually reached out to her. We did not know each other. We were in different states, but she was in her real estate office, and it was after the fact, later, that I found out that very night at 9 o'clock at night, when she was kind of frustrated why I'm not home with my family. I'm still in the office after many years in the profession, and she just, I believe she wrote some things down and just had this yearning within her that something needs to change. And she wrote out some characteristics of what ideally she would want. I believe she did write that down. And then it was the very next day she got contacted by several people, several possibilities. It's kind of interesting. contacting. And one of them was myself contacting her, and it's led eventually to a wonderful relationship and partnership with her and her husband. And now they're touching and impacting other lives as well. But adding some fuel, even as you listen, the fuel, both the why and then the who, the people and the stories. And how you do that is in talking about this. My wife and I sometimes, even in the midst of some of our transitions and difficult challenges, I would take moments in my day to share a story with her. Maybe someone I just talked to, maybe a situation, maybe the progress and the change. Maybe it's remembering how things were before and how we're on our way to where things are going. But really feeling that who. It could also be in your quiet time, in your meditation. Sometimes when I'm out, running an errand, or I love, if you can move your body in some way, getting out for a bike ride or a walk. Often that refreshes me, or in the shower, and then picturing these people, these stories. Many of you may be writing out a definite main purpose statement or some affirmations. And again, as part of that, maybe putting that to music. I was with a wonderful roommate at a convention recently, and he was listening to something in the morning, and he has this wonderful music he shared with me that he's listening to as he's envisioning what he's creating this year and the people that are going to be impacted by it. And so as you create that, that becomes fuel to you getting from where you are to where you want to be and creating the results that you want. So practice that. Hopefully that gives you some practical strategies, and then that creates the feeling. Ask yourself, how does that feel? You may even want to write down, how do you feel? How do people around you feel? How does it feel? Your team feel? What's the culture, the energy of the team, the clients, the customers, the business, the project, whatever it is you're working on? How does that feel? How do the people feel around you? Describe that. I love it. Lisa Nichols recently said, add some texture, to your vision and to how you're describing things to yourself and to others. That's the fuel, okay? That creates a different level of result. And then the second part is you want to add that strategy that we talked about yesterday. And the strategy primarily right now is going to be creating a daily plan. What we find, especially when people transition into business for themselves or in their own home business, or even just transitioning to being self-employed, that daily plan is critical, because you've got to create that structure that and those habits that support you in getting from where you are to where you want to be. And in the next couple of days, we'll talk about some specific strategies to enhance that daily plan and really help you create another level results, very simply, with great clarity, and very powerfully going forward this year. So I'll be back with you tomorrow.